Hi, I'm the super duper Minnie Cooper from Sydney, Australia. My name is Minnie Cooper. I'm a 49-year-old cross-dresser from Sydney, Australia. You know how I would describe my drag persona? I would say I've got the looks of Cate Blanchett, but the voice of Chris Hemsworth. I've got a very deep tone, but I don't like to stick myself into one box. I like to be glamorous, but one day, and sometimes I like to be something else. I don't like to be just the one thing. It's boring. I'm 49, skidding towards 50, and I thought my life would be over, but I think it's only just begun. You know, all these young queens, they come and go. I'm still here. I'm like salt. I'm in everything. My first drag name was actually Anna Friend, so you would say RuPaul Anna Friend. And then I started working professionally in about 2003, and I thought, I can't have that as a stage name. And I saw Minnie Mouse on the wall, and I love Minnie Cooper cars, and I thought, I'm Minnie on the outside, and once you get inside me, I go real fast. So I thought, perfect.
How do you think other people would describe your drag persona?
Let me just get my phone. Well, I actually had to ask another person, and this was the response I got. Your drag persona is best described as nurturing and like mother hen. You're always ready to help another, whether it's the next generation of drag or take a chance with an older, more experienced queen. You know that drag is important to you because it lets your creativity shine and gives you a space to help and teach and educate others so they can be the best drag versions of themselves. You're forgiving, but even some people push you, and you can forgive them, but you don't forget. You ensure that every queen that has a dream to perform has a stage and a light, and you give them hope that they too can shine bright. Sad. It's nice, isn't it? It's lovely. I don't really believe that, but that's what they think. When I started drag, I was a real bastard because I was a male dancer, so I was dancing all hard and fierce. I was actually told I was unwatchable. But over time, I learned to be softer and more feminine and more girly. And I used to produce shows, and I used to do everything for everyone else. But then I met this amazing woman, Faith Prince, who taught me to believe in me and do things for me. And then I started doing things for me. So I went to acting class, started to sing again because I never sung in drag, started to tap dance in drag, and I discovered all these new avenues to develop my campness. And so I love being camp and show busy, but I also love being a sexy slut sometimes too.
Tell me
This is one of my favourite drag looks, and I do have many that I love. It's Hollywood glamour with a bit of a sexy twist. Quintessential Minnie Cooper. What's not to love? P.S. No animals were killed in the making of this dress. This look is inspired by George Michael's Too Funky video clip. I used to wear it for a number called Hot Stuff for a corporate gig I used to do behind a singer. But the singer was unable to do the show one night, and whenever I did the number, it would always be a mime number. But they forgot to change the track. I run out, don't know where I am in the track, and can I just say, I finally know what a sound of applause is like. I created this look for a show I did at the Stonewall Hotel called The Gospels. I wanted us to look like statues coming to life. Funny story, we were rehearsing during the day on the stage in the dresses, no makeup, no wigs, always a good look. And our manager Glenn was watching the rehearsal. He went into the offices and said, "Oh my God, they're wearing beige dresses." But on the night, he adored the look. Fluorescent beige is now my favourite colour. If I was a drag superhero, this is what I'd look like. Being able to leap tall buildings in a 6-inch heel, can turn any man into a glamorous woman, tease wigs with my bare hands and fight for peace, justice and the homosexual way. This dress is very special to me. I had it made for a job I did in Paris. It was also the dress I wore to the DIVA Awards when I won DIVA Entertainer of the Year for a record-breaking 3rd time. I was so shocked but honoured. I know what you're all thinking. You can't believe I'm a 49-year-old man in a dress. I would describe myself out of drag. I'm really fun out of drag, but when I work, I'm very serious. And if you don't apply yourself to work, then I do get a little bit. But if we all work and we all work together, I'm loads and loads of fun. Look at me, I'm fun.
And what would other people say?
Well, let me get back to my phone to ask someone again. Here we go. I was described out of drag as, you create strong friendships and will do anything to protect and nurture them. Your passion shines through and you put your energy into helping others. Out of drag, you're happy to watch the stage than be the person on the stage shining. You barely take time to relax because you like to be busy and helping others more than looking after yourself. You know you have a friend who will do anything for you, a person who will move mountains for you and make you be the best version of yourself. You stand up for people too quiet to have their own voice, and you don't allow negativity to get the better of you. You'll always apply yourself to a role and task, sometimes don't even give yourself enough credit for all that you have done and achieved. You are a star in and out of drag, and I'm super proud to know you. That's it. The style of drag I don't like is drag that doesn't make you feel anything. I even love bad drag. I love watching a bad drag queen up there doing a number like Shirley Valentine doing River Deep Mountain High. She looks a fright, but at least I feel something. I also love really amazing drag, different drag. I just hate boring, mundane, getting up there, getting paid like you're working in a shop doing drag. Can't stand it. It's a performance, but it makes you feel something. You want to feel something.
Hi everybody, I'm Dan Murphy, Sydney's favourite DJ, and now it's time for Snatch Game Down Under. Okay, are you ready to meet our stars? First up we have the king of daytime television, Ellen DeGeneres.
Piss off.
Ellen, we're live on air.
Hi everyone, I'm Ellen, almost everyone's favourite lesbian. And you all know I love to dance. Come on everybody, let's do the chicken dance. Thanks everyone, I'm Ellen. My staff wrote that one.
Okay, it's time for our first question. Reese Nicholson is so ginger that when Ginger Minge met him, she said the only thing more ginger than you is blank. Ellen, over to you.
Well, Dan, we all know my wife is an Aussie, so I'm going to say Portia's Map of Tassie. I can confirm the hair doesn't match the carpet. It's true what they say, they definitely are raging bushfires down under. You know Portia's nickname for me is Ginger Anger, because every time she throws me away, I keep coming back for more. Thanks very much, I'm Ellen.
That gets me every time.
Portia says that too.
Next question. After recently receiving a Jersey Shore-styled manicure, Michelle was unable to open a can of her beloved Heinz baked beans for breakfast, so instead she used her blank. Ellen, back to you.
Well, Dan, that explains why I saw this in her dressing room earlier. I'm going to say her cock ring. Oh, but looking at her now, it's probably more like her nipple ring. Thanks very much, I'm Ellen.
I keep laughing at that bit. Close, but sadly once again not a match. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for tonight.
The snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like this swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I've tried. Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now they know. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Turn away and slam the door. I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. Let the storm rage on. I'm never going back. The past is in the past. Let it go, let it go. I'll rise like the break of dawn. Let it go, let it go. That perfect girl is gone. Here I stand in the light of day. Let the storm rage on. Cold never bothered me anyway.
What I love about the drag scene in Sydney, Australia is we do like production shows. It's very unlike the rest of the world. We'll have like 3 girls dancing together and maybe 2 boys with that. And I'm very well respected in the drag scene in Sydney because I'm like the queen bee, because I employ all the girls and they're always really nice to me because they want a job. Oh, come!
What, Mum?
Get your snout out of my sausage plate, please. Oh, look, it took me forever to get that diagonal detail just right. You've ruined it.
Already looks like a dog's dinner if you ask me.
Well, it does now you've had your fat franks in it.
I helped myself to those too. You're almost out.
You know, you need to start thinking about what you put in that gob of yours, cum. You're no spring chicken anymore. Although, some would say raised in a barn.
Well, I've just discovered the best thing since sliced bagels.
I'm not sure stuffing your chops and doing the fandango a miracle, cum. Although, good to see you multitasking.
Jesus Christ, Mum. I'm talking about my jeans. They're called mom jeans. They're all the rage at the moment. No more low rise. It's all about the high rise.
Oh yeah, nice, yeah. They're different, they're unusual. You know, as nice as it is to see that you're doing all us a service by covering that muffin top of yours, doesn't mean you can eat me out of house and home. Unless, of course, you're telling me they're maternity pants. Does kind of look like you're smuggling triplets down there. What? What is it, love?
My period. I can't remember the last time I had my period, Mum.
Look at me, look at me. I've got one word to say to you, cum. Menopause! My biggest achievements in drag, there have been so many. We don't have that long. We've only got 25 minutes. I've been lucky enough to perform for Cher. I've done Australia's Got Talent. I did All Together now. I've just recently been cast in a job that I can't not say, but it has like blown my mind. Yeah, that's like my biggest achievement if I can't say it. People always go on about their online followings. I'm more of a doer. I don't give a fuck about Instagram followers. I prefer to entertain people and have likes like this. Not on Instagram, who cares? Boring. Unconventional challenge. Well, I'm not a seamstress, but I've helped many times cut out patterns, hot glue stones onto costumes and headdresses. I approached this challenge with the idea what if your sewing machine broke down and you needed a costume for a gig? I had Uno cards, a staple gun, stick-on Velcro, and a dream. I think it's super cute. Uno. I am celebrating 20 years of being a paid professional crossdresser. I've been very lucky. I've always been in work. I initially started in musical theatre and then actually fell into drag. I used to choreograph the drag shows for the drag queens, and in 2003 Chelsea Bunn offered me a job to work with her, and I was in between jobs, and 20 years later I'm still in between jobs. But my biggest hardship has been dealing with the shame of doing drag. When I was 15, we had the AIDS epidemic, and I was very, very young, and my uncle passed away of AIDS, and then I thought I could never tell my mother that I was gay, let alone being a drag queen. So it wasn't until I was 40 that I told my mother I was gay. And then we had the plebiscite for the gay marriage, and I realised I still carried all that shame. And ever since then, I've worked hard of owning my shame and being kind to myself, because my mother, when I was little, she was so kind to me. She never discouraged me from dressing up. And what more can you ask of a parent that loves their child unconditionally? So the biggest thing for me is that I'm kind to myself and that I can tell my mum that I am what I am and have no more shame, and she would be so proud. That's my biggest hardship, shame. I'm pretty fucking competitive. You don't win Entertainer of the Year 3 times and not be competitive. And what I'd bring to the table is bloody everything. I can sing, I can even tap dance, I can choreograph, not really so, but I'll go to work on that. I think I'm pretty funny, and look, I'm so likeable. And look at me, I'm a star. Kelly Osbourne said so.
Minnie Cooper's kind of everything to me. I mean, tonight she's got to step it up.
To share a heart, got 1,000 tales. Well, master, you in luck, cause up your sleeve you got a brand of magic never fails. You got some power in your corner now, some heavy ammunition in your can. You got some punch, pizzazz, yahoo and how, you gotta do a solo.
You know what makes me the next drag superstar? I'm so bloody talented. I've got so much talent, it's coming out of my pores. You know, I'm already the Queen of Sydney. Now I need to be the Queen of Down Under. Actually, an Aussie needs to bring home this fucking crown. Sorry, New Zealand.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for tonight. Ellen, why don't you close us out with a dance?
Okay, Dan, you know I love to dance. Come on, everybody, let's dance. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Thanks very much. I'm Ellen.